Are you trying to time the market and figure out the perfect time to purchase a home? If so, then this video is for you. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 ways that could cost you money. So we know it's a hard pill to swallow. Buying a home today is definitely more expensive than it was a couple years ago. So whether you're someone who's looking to upgrade or downgrade, whether you're a renter ready to buy your new home, or whether you're somebody who's looking to either retire or buy a second or a vacation home here in Southwest Florida, we know that the current market is affecting all of you. In a perfect world, we'd have low mortgage rates and home prices would continue to fall at the same time. But it's very rare for this to happen when we look back over history. You know, back in the crash, 2007 to 2009, with the subprime mortgage crisis, we did see that happening. There was so much inventory. There was a ton of foreclosures. People were upside down. That is the biggest difference between then and now, is that lending standards have gotten a lot stricter. There were basically no lending standards back in the day. And there was so much supply. They just could not get rid of these homes. We are completely the opposite today. Inventory levels continue to be really, really low. We are a lot better than we were a year ago, but even if you look at a national level, inventory levels are continuing to be low. The home builders just aren't building enough to keep up, and haven't been, frankly, since that subprime lending crisis happened back in 2007 to 2009. So we have all of those years of not putting enough new inventory into the market, combined with what's happening right now, and it's a little bit like the perfect storm. Now, when you look at history over time, outside of that period of time from 2007 to 2009, we have continued to see home prices consistently going up. So there are small variations. It does depend on what's happening with your macroeconomics, your greater area, communities, locations. So, you know, real estate is hyper-local, so we can generalize a little bit looking at the national market, but it is important to always work with someone who has their pulse, who does real estate full-time, who studies it, who watches the market closely, and is able to give you indicators of what's exactly happening in that spot at any given time. So we're having a lot of conversations with people who are saying, I'm going to wait. We're going to wait and see what happens. We think that there's going to be a crash coming. We want to wait for interest rates to come down. And listen, I totally understand all of that. But here's what I want you to understand. And we want to make sure we do not have a crystal ball. But we listen to a lot of people who are really smart and know a lot and study all of the trends of what's happening nationally, locally here in the real estate market. And here's what we think is going to happen. So we actually think that home prices are going to continue to increase. In fact, they've re-released some reports that have come out from all of the companies that look at appreciation, and some of them were originally predicting a negative appreciation of like 2.2% for 2023 and a little bit more in 2024. They've actually come out and they have actually said, you know what? We actually think it's going to go the other way now. So they are now predicting that there will be modest increases in appreciation and price over the next couple years. So we know that prices are definitely higher than they have been the last few years, but it is important to know that historically we continue to see appreciation, not like what we've seen the last 2 years where it has skyrocketed up and been crazy, but we do expect that a home appreciation is going to come back to the levels where it used to be, where we're seeing anywhere from 2 to 5% annually in the appreciation of your home value. So another factor that may or may not affect you, but for people who are currently renting and trying to consider buying a home and getting into the market, we have seen rents stabilize, and in fact, we're seeing them go back up. So we did see some rents come down for a little bit, specifically here in Southwest Florida, but we're starting to see those rise again now. And when you look nationally, average rent prices have increased about 8.85% per year since 1980, according to iPropertyManagement.com. So yes, the cost of buying a home still remains high, but when you're renting, the rent prices continue to elevate as well. So rent prices will also be affected by inflation. Whereas, once you get into a mortgage payment, you're going to know what your payment is if you do a fixed rate loan, and you will be able to always predict and know what your costs are for maintaining your home. The third thing that could cost you if you decide to wait on purchasing a home is that you're going to probably lose out on equity. So like we've kind of talked about, they are now definitely predicting that we're going to continue to see home prices increase, and we're going to continue to see values go up. And home ownership helps you build wealth with the equity in your home. So this is the portion that you own outright. As you make mortgage loan payments, your mortgage balance goes down and your equity continues to get better. So by waiting to try to time it and figure out the right time to buy and continuing to rent, you might be paying more money every month that you might never see again. And same as if you're just kind of waiting to purchase. So we always kind of say the best time to get started is now, and it's great to just get in to the Southwest Florida market. We will often tell people, let's just get into the market. So let's talk about your goals. Let's figure out what it is that you're looking for, and then figure out how we can help you achieve those. So the fourth thing that could cost you in kind of sitting on the fence and not moving forward is you might lose a little bit of ability to negotiate. So you definitely, when we have a buyer's market, there definitely is more room to negotiate on the buyer's side. We're not quite there yet. However, we have seen such a slowing down of the market that we are seeing builders and we are seeing sellers who are willing to negotiate a little more. We really haven't seen much of that the last couple of years because houses were on the market for about 7 minutes before they sold. But our market time has gone up in this slowdown. So while our market is still strong, we have seen a slowdown in the number of transactions that are currently taking place. And we do think a lot of it is because there are a lot of people who are sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what's going to happen, and they're not willing to pull the trigger at this point. So by sitting on the sidelines, here's what we think is going to happen is that once we do get to a point where interest rates come down, or we get a little influx of supply, we think that that's going to cause more people to come in and flood the market. And so basically that's going to mean that there's just more competition for every home that's available again. That's kind of the life we led the last couple years. We've seen a little bit of breathing room from that. The best homes that are priced correctly are still moving very quickly, but we are seeing some inventory that is hanging around on the market a little bit longer than we've seen. So it's great to just go ahead and become a buyer right now when there's just not that same level of competition happening in the marketplace. So the fifth one, and this is, none of us really know what's going to happen here, but interest rates might not go down. They might, go back up. What we do hear from talking to people we know that are in the lending world is that we probably will not see 3% interest rates for 30-year fixed mortgages again. Maybe at some point down the road, but they're talking decades it might be before we get back to those levels. Those were totally an anomaly to have mortgage rates so low. And some of that was to try to spur the economy, get the economy moving. But when we look at historically, mortgage rates have been closer to an average of 7% when you look over the last 50 years. And that's according to Freddie Mac data. So it is impossible to predict what is going to happen with interest rates. We can look at inflation, we can listen to what the Federal Reserve says, but there are so many factors in play that are going to affect those interest rates that it's really hard to predict what that's going to be. But here's the thing, the bottom line is, whether you're a first-time home buyer, whether you're an investor who's bought tons of homes, whether you're ready to retire and start, buying your Southwest Florida lifestyle home, timing the housing market anywhere is extremely difficult. Every market, there's pros and cons to buying and selling. Every market is different. If you are able to afford it and you're ready to go, our recommendation would be to definitely have some conversations to move forward. If you want to talk to us more, you want to kind of share your goals and make a plan, we would love to do that. You can always call us at 239-776-6872. We want to help you reach your goals, and we want to make sure that you don't miss out on pursuing a Florida home for your dream if that's what your dream is, or anywhere else. We can actually, speak to specifically our hyper-local market, but we are aware and have awesome agents across the country that we can also hook you up with if you want to reach out and you're looking in another area. That's okay soon. But here's the thing, here's what we know for sure. The sooner you get in the market, the sooner you buy a home, the sooner you can start building your equity and be one step closer to financial freedom. If you're interested in one of our relocation guides, please put a comment in the box below. You can shoot a text message to 239-776-6872. We would love to send you our buyer's guides for the area. Just let us know which part of Southwest Florida you're looking to move to, and we will make sure that you get that. All right, here's what I want to make sure you walk away with. Time in the market is way more important than timing the market.